Just a few hours, what you need to know about the potential for heavy rains.
Officials will be here, the chief of police will be here. This is your opportunity to have a conversation, question and answers for the things that are going on that's concerning each individual community member.
Leaders in Albany are concerned about safety in city parks. Coming up, what they are doing to resolve those concerns and how residents really feel when they try to get outside.
I was in shock. I didn't really know how to react. I'm just like, what, like, me?
And we'll talk with not one, but two Black History Month Target Design winners. What put their designs on store shelves?
From your hometown news source, this is WALB News 10 at 6.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Heidi Paxson.
And I'm Carla Heath-Sands. We begin with our top story this hour. Police say they are seeing a lot of similarities between many car thefts across South Georgia.
WALB News 10's Alicia Lewis shares what law enforcement is encouraging everybody to do.
Albany Police Chief Michael Pursley says they are finding a lot of stolen vehicles that are from other places throughout the region. Just earlier this week, the agency investigated an incident in the central part of town and discovered a vehicle that was linked to Riverdale, Georgia. Other counties like Lowndes and Jones County have experienced the same things. Chief says the suspects committing the car thefts have no jurisdictional boundaries. Pursley shared some similarities they've seen from the victim's standpoint.
The biggest trend are people leaving their vehicles running, still on, unsecured, and folks just walk up there, get inside the vehicle, and take off.
Chief says social media and technology has helped law enforcement identify where the stolen cars have been.
We've even recovered some cars where driving a stolen Kia, and of course they learn how to steal these cars off through TikTok. So that's another thing that people have to be aware of, whatever trends.
He says oftentimes thieves will break into a car to steal the spare keys, come back later, and then steal it.
It's normally more than one person. There may be several of them together in another stolen vehicle, and they're looking for other vehicles to steal.
Chief Pursley is encouraging the community to take the extra moments to turn your vehicle off, take all your keys with you, and lock your car doors. He says he believes doing this will help limit the number of thefts in the region. Alicia Lewis, WALB, your hometown news source.
And let's talk about our weather. Let me make a correction. A first alert weather day has not been declared, but we are expecting some pretty heavy rain.
And we will let you know if that changes. Let's check in with weathercaster Anthony Bornero, who's tracking this system.
Yeah, Heidi, as we get into Saturday, that's when some issues may occur because of flash flooding work. I'm expecting anywhere upwards of 5 inches of rain. Most of us, though, getting 1 to 2 inches, but those areas, as we get a lot of accumulation, could get upwards of 5 inches of rainfall. But it hasn't even rained yet. We just got some light rain potentially for northwestern communities. Right now, we just got a cloud deck overhead. Some of our southeastern areas are actually sunny right now. The sun is beginning to set. But here's a look at what we've gotten over the past 24 hours. Like I said, potentially a drop or two here or there, but not seeing much. Albany looking at a beautiful sunset. But we're not going to get that much sun over the next few days. So take advantage of this nice weather while you can. We're currently sitting in the 60s of north and west towards Cuthbert and Dawson in Lee County and Leesburg, but more towards the lower 70s in Albany, towards Colquitt County and Tifton, 73, 72 in Thomasville. The warm spot still Valdosta at 76 degrees. Now, those temperatures won't go much, really anywhere as the cloud deck rolls in. We do hold on to a low rain chance through the evening, and then that chance bumps up as we head towards midnight. We'll be starting off tomorrow morning in the 50s towards Cuthbert, but mostly in the 60s. 64 and 65s are normal high temperature. That's what we'll be tomorrow morning. And then the rain chance starts bumping up, and it won't let up for most of the day. I'll give you details about the timing of the rainfall and how long it will last in a few minutes.
The former warden of Smith State Prison has been arrested and booked into the Tatnall County Jail near Savannah. The GBI arrested 48-year-old Brian Adams on charges of racketeering and bribery. He's also charged with lying to investigators and violating his oath of office. Adams was fired as warden before his arrest.
Now, about 8 months ago, the Georgia Attorney General's office asked the GBI to investigate corruption at the prison based on evidence discovered during a murder investigation. Prosecutors allege one of the 4 men indicted for the murder meant to kill a corrections officer who once lived on the same street as the victim. Officials say that officer tried to halt contraband from entering Smith State Prison. The GBI says the investigation into corruption at the prison is related to the murder investigation. Also today, the remains of a 16-year-old Norcross girl who was reported missing in July of 2022 were identified.
Gwinnett County officials say dental records confirmed that remains found off of Highway 316 belong to Susanna Morales. Morales vanished last summer while walking home from a friend's house in Norcross. We've been following this story since then. She never made it to her designation. Now, Gwinnett police say a passerby spotted the remains on Monday afternoon in a wooded area off of Highway 316 near Barrow County. This morning, police are working to determine what led to the 16-year-old girl's death.
Very early, so we are looking at all avenues. We haven't ruled out foul play, but we can't confirm exactly what happened. We are still working with the medical examiner's office, try to determine exactly what the cause of death was.
Just can't let this die down. We need to keep her name out there so we can figure out who did this.
The department does not have any suspects or a person of interest tied to this case. They're now asking anyone who may know what happened to Susanna Morales to come forward.
Well, less than 24 hours ago, Atlanta police released the body camera footage of a fatal shooting that happened outside of a future police training facility in January. And we need to warn you, this video might be upsetting to some of you. And you can hear what sounds like several gunshots in the woods. This is just one body cam out of 4. The footage is from officers who were clearing the area. Police then walked through the woods and commanded that a man come out of a green tent. Authorities say environmental activist Manuel Terran was shot at least 13 times near the site. His family is demanding investigators show more transparency. State investigators say they have tied the bullet fired at a state trooper to a gun that Terran owned. The family, or his family, says that a private autopsy showed that he was shot multiple times, and will continue to follow this case and update you with the very latest.
This afternoon, a Valentine's warning from law enforcement as they're seeing a rise in romance scams. Make sure someone only steals your heart, not your money, in a romance scam on Valentine's Day next week. The FBI says that since the pandemic began, women are most often the victim of romance scams. Most of the scammers start online by flirting and claiming to be in love, but are never able to actually meet you in person. Eventually, the scammer will ask for money, which can add up to a lot.
2021, the reported loss amounts were just under $1 billion, and that's only what's been reported.
The FBI says most of these scams are now on almost all dating and social media sites. Happening right now, people who live in Albany's Ward 3 are getting the chance to come together and make their community a safer space.
WALB News 10's Gabrielle Tate will tell us more about that opportunity for those residents.
Driscoll Park has seen some crime in the last few months, including a drive-by shooting that injured several people. A town hall meeting tonight will address community safety as well as new upgrades coming to the park. Back in January, 4 people were shot in that shooting that happened at a basketball court behind the park. But Ward 3 City Commissioner Wellness Gain says they have implemented something to help aid that problem.
We're putting in new gunshot protectors, we're putting in cameras, we're doing everything to protect the citizens of this park. The detectives will work when they hear gunshot. You will have quicker response because they'll know where they're coming from.
Those with concerns will be able to talk with community leaders at tonight's meeting.
Today's meeting will be about the concerns of the citizens of Ward 3 to let them know the highs and lows of what's going on in the community, to address the new Driscoll Park project, let them know where we're at with it, and let them know what we got new going on in the community. We'll have Chief Pursley here, drug unit, Ryan Ward will be here to address some of the issues that the considers are concerned with.
As for updates to the park, people can expect those soon.
The commissioners and the community have voted for a $6.3 million renovation knocking this old building down and creating a full new community event center for the people in this neighborhood and the community. Right now, they're in the process of doing the bids, and then we'll have more information, but you can go to the City of Albany website.
Coming up on WALB News 10 at 11, I'll let you hear from people at the meeting and what they hope to see happen in their community. Gabrielle Tate, WALB, your hometown news source.
And if you'd like to attend tonight's meeting, it'll be from 6:30 until 8 p.m. at 1023 South McKinley Street.
Just after the break, we'll tell you more about the bipartisan bill that Senator John Ossoff proposed to make life easier for the men and women in uniform.
And we'll introduce you to a couple of Albany area college students who have created designs for Target. How that came to be when we come back.
Leading a bipartisan push to reduce housing wait times for military families in Georgia. According to some military housing advocates, the state's military families are waiting several weeks to move into livable housing options on Georgia military posts, including Fort Benning. During that time, service members are only compensated for less than 2 weeks of temporary housing. After that, they and their families are expected to use their basic allowance for housing to pay for any costs.
Well, new today, the Georgia Department of Transportation awarded 4 projects for work on, in Southwest Georgia, worth over $7 million. They recently awarded projects to Greenlight work in Baker, Decatur, Lowndes, and Terrell counties. This was one of the largest contracts awarded in the past year. In Decatur, crews will be milling and plant mix resurfacing on State Route 27. In Terrell County, crews are looking to replace an old bridge on Vinnie's Mill Pond Road. And for the last project in Baker County, crews will be doing a sign and pavement marking upgrade. To read more on the projects, you just need to head to our website, WALB.com. Well, Target's Black History Month collection has selected the top 3 finalists, and 2 of them are from right here in the Good Life City.
How cool is that? WALB News 10's Fallon Howard shares how these 2 individuals are showcasing their talents for Albany shoppers to see.
Cameron Burnham and Mackenzie Linder are both fine arts majors, and they say the inspiration and push came from their professors who encouraged them to apply.
Linder says she got the idea to submit her design from conversations of cultural appropriation in class.
A lot of people, you know, they look up to a lot of, they have a lot of Black icons that they look up to, but we're constantly being ripped off and stolen from. So that was kind of the idea for the name.
Burnham says that he is usually skeptical of contests because he didn't think he would win, but he quickly changed his mind after he says people saw a reflection of themselves in his design.
The thought behind it was my oldest sister, who has passed away, and she used to do hair. And so I thought about her and the impact that she had on my life, and not just her, but also the other women in my life, the impact that they had on me, which is very strong and very prevalent and obvious in my life.
Burnham's design was sold out in a week. He feels his design can reach all Black women.
And I kind of wanted to just pay homage to all types of Black women and to show that Black women hair in of itself is culture, is Black culture.
At first, it didn't hit Linder that she was a finalist.
I didn't really have a reaction then, but I sent it to my parents and they were really excited. But I think I didn't really react until I saw it in the stores.
Both winners say that they are shocked that they won, but are grateful for how much support they have gotten. They said if they have a chance to work with Target again, they would love to. Fallon Howard, WALB, your hometown news source.
And we have compiled a list of Black History Month events honoring those who have made a difference in Southwest Georgia. To see that list, you can head to our website, WALB.com, and click on Black History Month events. If your event is not on the list, make sure you reach out to us so that we can add it.
Coming up, a Georgia-based Boy Scout troop is celebrating 100 years. We'll tell you what they did to commemorate after the break.
Well, if you have weekend activities planned, it may be a best idea to either cancel them or push them over to Sunday. I'm expecting multiple rounds of rain on your Friday, then almost a washout for your Saturday. There's a chance for severe weather tomorrow, but there's very much a lower chance on Saturday. And there's going to be a chance that we get upwards of 5 inches of rainfall. I'll talk all about that next.
Forecast with weathercaster Anthony Bordenero.
Well, we've asked for the rain, and we've certainly got it. We were under a moderate and even severe drought weeks ago, but so far this year, we're actually above normal rainfall. Remember last year, we're 6 inches in deficit. So we've gotten plenty of rainfall so far, and that's only going to continue. And it starts this evening, and it continues until Saturday evening. Here's a current picture across the board. Showers starting to cross into the Forgotten Coast area right now. For us, just a blanketing of clouds. Light raindrops for our northwestern counties just a few hours ago, but right now we are mostly dry. In fact, all dry, with just some nice mid-upper level clouds to look at as the sun sets. And those clouds aren't really going to go anywhere for the next about 3 days. Right now, 69 degrees in Cuthbert, 68 towards Americus and Terrell County, south toward Terrell County, just around 70 degrees, 73 in Albany, 72 in Bainbridge, 72 in Thomasville as well, and 76 in Valdosta. Now, no matter where you are at right now, we will fall, but it's going to be a pretty nice evening to go for a walk and do anything outside because we will be in the mid to upper 60s, may not even need that light jacket out. And I would take advantage of it because you already notice the rain chances bumping up towards midnight. And the next few days, not going to have a lot of time for those outdoor activities. We'll start off tomorrow, 60 degrees, with those rain showers already moving in. If we take a look at temperatures, they'll actually be falling throughout the day as a cold front pushes in. Before we get into the radar, I want to show you this. Step up the screen just for a second. We are under a low threat for severe weather. It's a marginal risk of 1 out of 5. 5% chance of damaging wind gusts, 2% chance of an isolated tornado. Enough talking all about that. Let me show you the timing, and let's walk through the timing of the showers. So here's that front along it. That's where the showers and storms will pop up. Just around 1 a.m., that's when that first batch is going to push in. Another batch just around the time that you're getting onto the bus stop. And then around noontime, we'll get a break. There's going to be 2 rounds. So that first line pushes south and east, and then this other one comes full ahead just around dinner time. So tomorrow's not going to be 100% washout. If you do plan it creatively, if you do download the WALB weather app and look at the radar as it comes in, there will be periods of dry weather. But Saturday, that's not really going to be the case. We'll get that in just a second. But here are those high temperatures all across the board. As that front pushes in, notice areas south and east are going to get warmer than areas north and west. So only the 50s and even lowering throughout the day, but towards Valdosta and Lanier County and Berrien County getting towards 70 degrees. So different picture all across the board. Just looking at Saturday, pretty much a washout. We have another frontal low coming in. I'm sorry for standing in front of the screen, but all you missed was more rain showers, light rain to moderate rain continuing, and then we'll be wrapping up on your Sunday morning. So Sunday morning, as you head off to church, is looking good, but for those next 2 days, we'll call them washouts. Although Friday we will get some breaks. Upwards of 5 inches of rainfall with the system. That's why we do have a slight risk for flash flooding, but we do rebound and we do dry out fairly quickly. High temperature on Tuesday towards 70 degrees, and we will be dry for a couple days there. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we introduce that rain chance with temperatures in the upper 70s to 80s for highs.
Well, one of the longest running Boy Scouts troops in Georgia is celebrating 100 years of scouting. Scouts BSA Troop 27 is in Muskogee County. Now, the troop, alongside the Chattahoochee Council, celebrated with a centennial banquet at the Benning Club in Fort Benning. The mayor of Columbus commemorated the event as guest speaker. Troop 27 has taught life skills and scouting principles to thousands of service members' children over the decades. The troop secretary says it's important for the boys to have some stability.
It is very helpful for our boys to have a place of stability, something that is the same everywhere they go. So when they travel from one post to another post, they can always find a scout troop and they can join right in. And although the names have changed, the program is still the same.
The troop also honored recent Medal of Honor recipient retired Colonel Ralph Puckett, who has ties to Tift County.
Coming up in sports, an alumni group is bringing schools in Albany together. We have those details up next.
You're You're watching WALB News 10 Sports with Aaron Mukes.
United, it's time. With the increase of violence in town, alumni from Dougherty County schools are looking to make a change. And what better way to bring people together than through sports? For years, all 4 Dougherty High schools have held their separate alumni events, but this year it's to come together. Alumni from Dougherty High, Monroe High, Westover High, and Albany High School have come together to create one big alumni event. The Alumni Weekend will take place from March 31st to April 1st. At the Resora, one of the main events from the weekend will be an alumni basketball game and, of course, an alumni golf tournament where former athletes will compete against one another for Pastor Yaz Johnson. He says this event is about more than showcasing who's still got talent.
Uniting all the alumni, the different schools. You have a lot of activities that's going to be going on, and not only that, it's going to bring the community together. Because when we look at the way things are here in Albany, Georgia, and all the bad news that people be receiving, we got to step up. We are held accountable, so we got to step up and do something here in Albany, Georgia, to make Albany, Georgia continually to be the good life city. And it's going to start right here with the high schools. And it's going to trickle all the way down to the little kids, all the way to the older kids.
Shout out to Pastor Johnson for that. It's going to be a great event. Now let's take a look at that upcoming fishing game forecast. Your peak times are 4:40 a.m. and 5:20 p.m.
Okay. For my family, every Friday is Pizza Day, but today is a favorite national day. It is National Pizza Day, and we want to know what type of pizza you prefer. Now, on our site, we've got 4 options you can choose from. It's a deep dish, a supreme, veggie, or pepperoni. Let us know your preference at WALB.com.
It got kind of heated last night during the 11. Me and Aaron talking about pizza and pineapple on pizza. I think Tommy didn't like it. Tommy did not like it.
I'm with Tommy.
People either love or hate pineapple on their pizza. I like it, and I really like chicken bacon ranch. This is my favorite. What about you?
I'm boring. I like a deep dish, pepperoni, or a thin pepperoni.
I don't think that's boring.
Okay.
I think
I don't like the
adventure.
adventure.
I think it's good to keep it safe sometimes.
Okay.
You know.
Well, your evening news is next, and we'll be back tonight at 11 with more news that matters to you.
Have a great night.